What's up, everybody? And welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Members, they get exclusive content. Let's get right into it. This transpired in High Desert. Again, I hit High Desert in November of 1999. B-Yard, a 270. I have already explained the difference between a 270 level 4 yard and a 180 level 4 yard. This is a 270. When I got there to the 270 yard, the homie in question from Kitchen was already there, and the homies from Watts was already there. These are all relatively young dudes. The homie from Kitchen was about 22 years old, had tattoos, skinny dude, maybe 5'10" or so. Not an imposing figure at all. And when I sized him up, I wasn't sure what to think of him. I never underestimate anyone. But you never know what's going to happen until the time comes. You cannot necessarily look at someone and gauge whether or not they are going to perform when it's time to. You can be wrong one way or the other. The homies from Watts, one of them was about 24 years old. He also had tattoos and an afro from Hat Gang Watts. Both of these dudes from Hat Gang Watts. The other dude was a fat, dark-skinned dude. I know all of the dudes' names that are in question here. The homie from Kitchen and the two dudes from Hat Gang. Now, in my experience, the Kitchens, they are allies with us, with Hoovers, and when we hit prison yards and the county jail, they ride with us. They hang out with us. They're out there. They are one of our few allies. But when I got here to High Desert, the young homie from Kitchen was hanging out with the Watts car. He told me later that he had pretty much heard that, they hang out with Hoovers, but he wasn't sure. That was his first time in prison. No one had really directed him. He recognized somebody that he knew from Watts, started hanging out with him every day on the yard. Next thing you know, he was just like hanging out with the Watts car. Now, sometimes certain cars will adopt you because they have ulterior motives. They want you to do all of the heavy work, etc. But sometimes it's genuine. They were both Crips. They got along. Their hoods got along. And the Kitchen Crips, they're not that deep. Like when I was in the county jail, I was in there with one Kitchen Crip. I was in the county jail this past time for 4 years, dealing with this case that I was in there on. And during that entire 4 years, only one dude from Kitchen was there, Skull from Kitchen, because they're not that deep. When I was in YA, I can really think of like one that I was in YA with for 4 years. So the young homie from Kitchen, he was the only Kitchen that was on the yard. I'm sure the only Kitchen that was in High Desert. So he just ended up hanging out with the dudes from Watts. And he eating with them, he's working out with them. You'd have thought that he was from Watts. He's hanging out with, he's with their car, bro. They accepted him, he's with their car. Now, one day, we're coming out for yard. They're releasing our building. This is B-Yard, as I said, and I believe we were all in 3 buildings in 1999. Or actually, so this was a couple months after I got there. So I got there in November 1999, so this is early 2000, February, March 2000. And as we're coming out the yard, I hear the fat dude from Hat Gang Watts say, "Man, what the fuck I say? Next time." And I just heard a smack, and I turned around, and the dude from Kitchen had fired on him, socked him in the mouth. Said, "Man, who the fuck you think you talking to?" Bow! And fired on him, the young dude. I said, "Whoa!" Dude from Hat Gang grabbed his mouth and then grabbed the dude. I know that feeling. When Dubs hit me in my mouth, knocked my tooth back, I was dazed. I couldn't respond. All I can do was grab him, as I've said before. But this dude wasn't really dazed. He just grabbed him because he didn't want to smoke. But he had loudmouthed the dude. I believe he was telling him that he had to come to the yard, make sure he come to the yard. Again, he's a part of their car. This is their rules, their structure. He said, "Man, make sure you bring your ass to the yard. How come you wasn't on yard or whatever the other day?" But before he can get it all out, dude that took umbrage to the way that he was talking to him. I understand because I looked over because he was loud mouthing him like he was talking to a broad. Dude fired on him. So when he grabbed him, the dudes from Watch tell him, man, y'all chill, hold up, man, take that in the cell, y'all chill, because motherfuckers be squabbling up in the cell, bro. You can go in the cell sometimes and get a fade. So when they tell him, chill, man, y'all chill, dude from Hat Gang like, man, he just fired on me, as if they're giving him a directive that he has to follow. And he's resisting. He doesn't want to follow it. He doesn't want to chill. And the reason is because this dude just fired on him. Man, they shouldn't even had enough time to tell you to chill. As soon as he fired on you, you supposed to fire back on him. You supposed to fire the shit up. The yard's supposed to go down. So you wasn't even trying to fight. And so he didn't do nothing. The dude from Hat Gang didn't do nothing. And they ended up going in the cell a couple of days later or so and fighting in the dude from Hat Gang cell. He was 2 cells down from me. They ended up fighting in his cell. Dude from Hat Gang told me later that he took it easy on him because he's the young homie and this and that. Yeah, well, he ain't the young homie when he fired on you. You wasn't thinking you was the big homie then. But okay. But now there's tension between these two. The Watch car and the dude from Kitchen. Because at the end of the day, yeah, they accepted him. He's a part of their car. But at the end of the day, they from Watch. That's really their car. And they took umbrage to the fact that he fired on their homeboy out there on the yard, even though he's their homeboy as well. But still, they're telling him, from what he told me later, we ended up on a different yard together later, meaning the young homie from Kitchen. And he told me later that, they were telling him that it made them look bad that he fired on a homie out there on the yard in public. And, no, only thing that looked bad is that the dude didn't fire back on him. That's what looked bad. So there's tension now. And they're kind of separating themselves from the dude from Kitchen. He's still riding with him, working out with him and all that. But you can tell things are not the same between him and the dude from Hat Gang and the rest of the Watch car. Now, that's probably how him and the other dude from Hat Gang end up getting into it. It just so happens that he from Hat Gang and they end up getting into it too? No, probably he was very upset about him firing on his homeboy out there in the yard, his homeboy not responding properly, making them look bad. And so he's walking around and he has a problem now with the young homie from Kitchen. And somehow they end up getting into it. I don't know the gist of it. I just know that they ended up getting into it. So now they scheduled to line it up. They're supposed to go in the cell and the homie from Kitchen cell and fight. Everyone agreed upon this. The Watch car said, okay, what have you? Y'all go in there, just handle it, man. We still homies. Y'all go in there and handle that. So the homie from Kitchen told me later that that's all they was going to do. First, they were supposed to come out to the day room, talk it over, basically shake hands like before they even go in there and fight. They was going to talk it over and say no weapons. The Watch cars, going to chime in and say no weapons. Y'all don't try to dog each other out. Don't try to hurt each other. Y'all go in there, y'all homies. Y'all go in there and have a squabble and get up out of there. That's it, bro. So they was going to go to the day room and chop it up like that and then go in the cell and fight. This is at night day room. But the homie from Kitchen say that before day room, or rather at day room time, the dude from Hat Gang comes to his cell and another dude from Watch is right there with him. So now he's saying, this ain't part of the deal. This wasn't part of the agreement. How come they're at my cell? He told me he's thinking they have designs to rush in there and try to poke him. He's thinking they're going to come with a weapon because he doesn't understand how come the dude is in front of his cell waiting for his door to be hit for day room when they're just supposed to come out and converse first and then go in there and resolve this like men. So he said, dude is at the door from Hat Gang and he's looking up at the tower, at the gun tower, and he's looking all nervous and he's fidgeting and all this. So he said, man, at that moment, he ran to his stash real quick before the police can hit his door for day room and grabbed his tool. Just for safe measures. And well, the dude from Hat Gang, when they came around to hit his door for day room, he ran up in there. But when he ran up in there, Dude from kitchen say, again, he felt like he was fidgeting. So he drew down and poked the dude from Hat Gang right in the neck. Not a deep puncture wound, but he hit him, bro. He scratched him. He was leaking. And when he hit him, when he poked him, he said in self-defense, he was in fear of his life. He didn't know why the dude was running in there like that, because that was not the deal. That was not the agreement. Then he said, lo and behold, the dude from Hat Gang started fidgeting like in his waist. And he tried to pull out a thing. He said he saw the thing. So he had a thing after all. The dude from Hat Gang. He said when he saw the thing, he swung and hit him again with the thing. Now, because he really don't want this dude to get the thing out. They in a cell together. Ain't nowhere to run and hide in that cell. And dude's a pretty small dude. Dude from Hat Gang is not much bigger than him, though. A little bit bigger, but not much. This one in particular, the first dude he fought from Hat Gang is a big, strong, fat dude. Cocky, strong, stocky, whatever. Okay. But this dude, not so much, but he's not necessarily a small dude either. So he hit him again. Now, the dude that had came to the door with him from Watts, I guess, ran over there, told everybody else what was going on. And they came over there and told him, man, get up out your cell, bro. I guess he basically trying to save him, like, man, you ain't swung back. You got your thing. You ain't hit him back, and then get up out of there before you get unalived. Because that dude ain't playing with you, and you in there playing. Because you ain't put out the thing and bust back whatsoever. And that was really the end of it. Dude didn't need medical attention. He didn't go to medical or nothing, but he was leaking. They patched him up, and they never attacked the dude from kitchen. He ended up coming over there on the yard, on C yard with me, on C upper yard. Because normally when you're on the 270 yard, if you get into too much stuff or get into something serious, they're going to send you to a 180 yard. Because that's a step above the 270 yard. But you have to have some sort of infraction or whatever once you're on the 270 yard. And then, if you have an infraction, transgress against a rule that the police set, then they send you to a 180. So that's what happened to me. I got caught with drugs, went to the hole, and they put me on the 180 yard from there. I'm not sure how the young homie from kitchen ended up coming over there on the 180 yard. I don't remember the incident that he had got into, but he got into some more stuff over there. But he was a strong dude. He fought the dude from Hat Gang, and then used this tool on the other dude that ran in his cell. He was a young dude, but he was still following certain protocols. And that's what happened there in High Desert. As I said, it's very violent and it's very vicious, and even young dudes in there were not and are not playing. So you have to follow the rules. And don't make it seem as if you're about to come in there and attack someone with a weapon if you're really not about that life. Well, that's what happened with that situation. And coming up, I'm going to take you to Corcoran State Prison before I get to Tiny Goofy and Porky, where the police were unaliving inmates setting up fights. I'm sure most of you have heard of this. And then once the inmates started fighting on the yard, the police gunned them down. They killed, I believe it was 8 inmates between 1993, 94, 95. I'll get to that coming up soon. In the meantime, again, I want to thank everyone for subscribing to my show, to my channel, supporting me, having faith in me, and I hope to one day justify your faith. Until then, stay free, my good people.